Good evening and welcome to Maple Mountain High School, where the winter sports season, I guess, is underway as we moved indoors here in Spanish Fork, as the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles are at home tonight for the visiting Lehi Pioneers. Lehi coming out of the 5A classification tonight to come down and take on Maple Mountain, and not a team, if you're Lehi, that you can overlook even though you're playing down a classification tonight. This is a very good Maple Mountain team. Great to be with everybody. I'm Ryan Pickens alongside my partner Jerry Huffman. And Jerry, great to be back with you for another year. We were talking before the game.
We're indoors.
We had some fun ones last year.
You call it fun, I call it heart attack. This year, domination. Domination.
We checked on make sure we had the the heart attack machine thing you put down. I still can't remember that name. We don't have one yet this year, Jerry. So just keep that in mind. But when we take a look at this, let's take a moment here real quick to thank our sponsors for helping making this broadcast possible. We want to thank the Car Guys for the Car Guys instant replay that you'll enjoy throughout tonight's game. Lance Wilson State Farm with the assist of the game. Stay tuned for those throughout tonight's broadcast. Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. MVP Sports for the MVP of the game. That one will be named at the conclusion of our broadcast in the post-game show. To Jack's Pizza, and of course our good friends here at Spanish Fork 17 helping make this broadcast possible. Jerry, we've talked about it kind of building up throughout the last couple of weeks. How much great last season was. Now you have to build on that.
I know. High expectations for this senior class this year. Kate Polson and Jaron Hall both anchoring, coming back off stellar years last year. Kate Polson averaging about 25, Jaron Hall averaging about 13, but both of those guys clutch in the fourth quarter.
The students are excited. They're filling the student section, and they have a lot obviously to be excited about. As you see, some Maple Mountain football, some
a bunch
jerseys.
of my football players.
As everybody gets excited here, we're just about ready to go for the national anthem. And I think, are we gonna keep it here? Do we want to send it here? Looking over at my producer here to just give me a thumbs up or something. But right now we'll keep it. We're going to stay here for the national anthem and also for the starting introductions here. Maple Mountain coming off a win last week against Carbon in a game in which, Jerry, when you kind of take a look at it, how did Maple Mountain look in that one? What's the things they got to build on tonight?
Unfortunately, I think they looked a lot like last year as they played to the level of their opponent. They could have blown Carbon out at any time, I think. But they get the lead and they start to just kind of lax a little bit, let them creep in. I mean, they had the game won the whole way, but it ended up being a lot closer than it should have. Hopefully that we won't see that here, because you give these Pioneers any kind of opening, just like we saw last year, they'll come right back in it and win it.
Last year the game was well in hand. You thought Maple Mountain was up 9 heading into that fourth quarter. Lehi goes 16 of 21 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter and wins 74-72. We're going to get ready for the national anthem here. We're going to keep it here and enjoy tonight's national anthem.
Wow, that was incredible.
A great national anthem here as we get ready to, for the first time this year on Spanish Fork 17, get the starting introductions first for the visiting Lehi Pioneers. Starting at guard, 6'3", senior Tanner Nygren. Number 3, a 6'1" guard will be Blaze Neild. Number 4 will be a 6'3" guard, Marcus Draney. Looks like it's number 11 guard Ethan Tuckett, a 6'2" junior. And starting out forward, a 6'6" forward, Tyson Rupp. And so really you take a look at Lehi, they're going to go very small and probably look to push it up and down the court tonight.
You know, they said that Tyson Rupp was 6'4".
6'6", it looks like.
Looks like I grew a few inches too, I guess.
As now we get ready here for Maple Mountain to get ready here to get their introductions as the lights go out here at Maple Mountain.
6'1", senior guard, number 1, Jared Hall.
Right there as Jared Hall gets introduced tonight and throws a t-shirt into the student section. As Parker Christensen, a junior guard. Christensen saw a lot of time last year on the JV team, but he's going to get the start here tonight. As 6'5" junior Dawson Butler now gets introduced. Butler at 6'5", definitely going to be a big inside presence tonight against Tyson Rupp. As Sam Kromenhoek gets introduced at 6'4". Maple Mountain has the size advantage inside tonight, that's for sure. And a senior guard will be number 23, Cade Polson. Polson coming back this year, one of the top returning scorers in the state of Utah at really both at 4A and 5A classifications.
You know, like I said last year, Cade Polson never met a three he didn't like. He'll shoot it from anywhere on the floor, and it always has a chance to go in.
He had some great games last year that we saw here on Spanish Fork 17 and Spanish Fork 16. We want to welcome viewers tuning in tonight on both Spanish Fork 17 and Spanish Fork 16, along with our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Spanish Fork 17. Thanks for tuning in to Maple Mountain Basketball. We'll have the game tonight here at home, and then we'll make the trip up to Timpanogos High on Friday night for the Golden Eagles and the Timberwolves up there from Timpanogos.
Wow, they got Kromenhoek jumping this ball and not the 6'5" Dawson Butler.
It's going to be Kromenhoek jumping against Tyson Rupp. Rupp, the 6'6" power forward.
Now I know Dawson Butler is 6'5" and can jump out of the sky.
Ball is up. The tip is won by Lehi and controlled by Blaze Neild. Neild right around Christensen, kicks it to Nygren, left wide open for three. He missed it long. Rebound goes to Draney. He leaves it inside. Rupp gets the shot blocked. Second attempt rolls off the rim. Ball goes off Jared Hall. Saved by, looks like, Butler, but it was out of bounds, so we'll stay here with Lehi with 7:46 to go here in the first quarter. It's good to get that first kind of rush out of the basketball season.
Hey, they got lucky there. Nygren had 5 threes versus Taylorsville.
In the corner, here's Neild. He's going to go to the basket now, drops it inside. Rupp with the left hand, banks it in.
That's too easy.
And now here comes some pressure from Lehi. Parker Christensen brings it into the front court for Maple Mountain. Christensen over to Cade Polson. Polson gets Draney in the air, now kicks it out. Hall in the corner. Here's a three for Butler, which is long. Rebound going to be pulled down and controlled by Ethan Tuckett. And here come the Pioneers ready to run again. Neild into that front court. Nygren puts it on the deck, now steps in, floats it up over a defender, count the basket, and it looks like a foul.
I think that was foul on the floor underneath.
Coming, it's going to go. Fighting. The foul there, I believe they got Cade Polson. And no, it's going to be offensive against Lehi.
Did that basket count?
Tyson Rupp. The basket counts, and after the play, they're saying the foul came.
Okay.
Marcus Draney wanting a little bit of an explanation here as we get everybody set up. Jaron Hall there with a smile on his face. Always see him with a smile on his face as he gets ready to go for his senior season here at Maple Mountain. Here's Cade Polson, pressured by Neild in the backcourt. Neild brings it up.
Parker Christensen is a true point guard. You know, unlike we've seen at Maple Mountain in a few years.
Polson kicks it out to Kromenhoek, back up to the top. Christensen trying to go around Draney. Here's Jaron Hall, and Christensen throws it away. Just kind of quickly shoveled it out there, and an uncontrolled pass.
Right after I gave him props for being a true point guard. He'll fix it.
Lehi with the basketball, moving it up at the top. Here's Neild. Neild with it on the perimeter, kicks it back up. Nygren's going to take the long two, and he hits. able to get the basket to go. A quick 6-0 start for Lehi. Coach Johnny Averett, you wonder if he might get a timeout and skip pass over. Here's Kromenhoek back to Hall, who drops inside. Butler goes up strong. He couldn't get to go. Gets his own board. Couldn't get that one to go. Nygren pulls the rebound. Nygren out to Neal. Pulls up for three and hits.
Oh, man.
It's 9-0 Lehigh, and now Johnny Averett wants a timeout after a quick 9-0 run with 6:16 to go in the first.
You know, that was a great look by Jaron Hall underneath, but he's a senior this year. He needs to take that ball straight in, you know, score the points, draw the foul, draw some contacts, force the issue.
So with 6:16 to go here, we'll take a look here, and we'll take a moment to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We do want to thank the Car Guys for the Car Guys Instant Replay, Lance Wilson State Farm, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, 2 Jack's Pizza, MVP Sports, and our friends here at Spanish Fork 17.
Let's hope Coach Averett can make some adjustments here.
As, I mean, really, that quick 9-0 start, we're kind of seeing a little bit here as to how Lehigh was able to get that. They changed it to 8. It looks like originally 9 was up there, but it looks like that last 3 by Neal, they're going to change to a 2. Jaron Hall will walk the ball up here, maybe try to slow the pace down a little bit. For Maple Mountain, student section loud and proud tonight. Hall takes it to the basket, lays it up and in.
He can do that to anybody in the state, and I want to see that all day. Once he starts doing that, he can kick it out to Polson for a 3.
Backdoor cut. Neal's going to bank it in for 2. And that's too easy there. That's a good response here. Quickly breaking the press. Here's Hall. Hall's going to have to try to attack against that zone, but he pulls it back out. Lehigh wants you to settle for the 3. Here's Polson. That one's off. Rebound going to be tipped around and controlled, and the Pioneers will run again. Nygren takes it, drops it to Draney, who could miss the layup, and the putback is good for Rupp.
Full court press by the Pioneers.
As here's Cade Polson, Draney tries to kind of flop back a little bit there. As Maple Mountain, Butler's got to...
Butler, take that all the way in, son.
Here's Polson. Polson lowers his head, gets in the lane. We're going to get a foul here. It's going to be on the ground, and will be the first foul here against the Lehigh Pioneers, or second foul, I'm sorry. And they're going to get Tyson Rupp, his second. So now Maple Mountain's going to enter, as now Matthew Ballard, it looks like, entering for Maple Mountain. And taking a seat will be Dawson Butler. Golden Eagles set to inbound. Parker Christensen. Here's Cade Polson, baseline drive. We're going to get another foul. This one's going to go.
Stepped out.
Be Blaze Neal with the foul. And that's one way for Maple Mountain to attack the basket and see if you maybe can't get this Pioneer team in foul trouble. Kromenhoek set to inbound, gets it here. Here's Hall for 3, and that one's good.
That is the Jaron Hall I've been waiting for 2 years.
Draney dribbles it up in the front court. Maple Mountain going with that typical kind of man defense. You don't see a lot of zone or anything else from Maple Mountain. Nealed with it in the kind of the high court here, gets it to the high post. Moving the basketball around, Nealed again, guarded by Parker Christensen. Here's Draney. Draney in that way out on the perimeter. Nealed with it back at the top. Lehigh kind of slowing it down. First time they really
step out on that.
Nygren buries the 3. And we're quickly back to a 10-point lead. Here's Hall, and offensive foul against Jaron Hall. And the Lehigh Pioneer bench going nuts here in front of us there. And that's just great defense, getting in a great position to kind of see the first against Jaron Hall. First team foul against Maple Mountain with 4:20 to go in the first quarter. And Caleb Johnson's going to come off the bench here and replace Parker Christensen.
Dallin Spencer comes in for Lehigh, replacing Tyson Rupp.
This one so far, Lehigh getting off to the fast start. They will just try to push it and try to score. Here's Draney on the wing. Tries to get around Ballard. That one poked away by Polson. Jaron Hall into the front court, goes up, tries to get it to Polson, but it's knocked away by Rupp. Rupp in there playing with 2 fouls, so.
That was Tuckett. Rupp is out.
That was Tuckett, okay. Caleb Johnson, number 12, gets the basketball in the backcourt. was going to say, that would be odd to have him play with two fouls in the first quarter.
Oh,
Hall goes right around
he
Draney. Draney
held
with
him.
a big kind of a hold there as Hall went to the basket there. That would be the first against Draney.
I love the
14
way Hall
fouls.
is playing. I love it.
And really, against that kind of a zone, when you have those opportunities, you have to attack the basket to get him out of that zone.
I mean, there's no one quicker. You cannot guard him with just one person when he is on his game.
Hall set to inbound. Here's
Got it.
Polson for three.
Boom.
Good.
Kate Paulson. What now?
His first bucket of the ball game on his second shot. Draney with it up top, kicks it over. Here's Nygren now in that high post. Gets it over Tuckett. Tuckett guarded by Polson and quickly gets it back up to Blaze Neal. Neal goes around the screen, drops it inside, takes it right to the basket.
like a
A blocking foul as Dallin Spencer, a 6'5 sophomore, took it right to the rim.
It's like Ballard stepped in front of the train for that one.
And the first foul there going against Matthew Ballard.
You know, I see Caleb Johnson in here guarding Blaze Neal, who's really quick, and he keeps looking away to help double team. He needs to lock him up. Or he's going to sneak in for something.
Blaze Neal jumps back in to the free throw line here as the sophomore Spencer goes to the line. The left-handed first free throw's good. So now it's going to bring in number 12, Isaac Madsen, a 6'2 junior guard. And we'll replace Ethan Tuckett. 8-point lead here for Lehi. With the free throw, makes it 9, 17-8, 3:33 to go in the first. And Lehi once again going full court press. Cromanhook gets it into Hall. Hall with kind of pump fake, goes right past his defender. Takes it right to the basket, goes up, fakes it in.
That's what I'm talking about.
Maple Mountain are more than just a one-threat team, as Hall so far having a great ball game. On the drive, it's going to be Neal. He throws a shot up, but couldn't get it over. Couldn't get it to go down. That should be the first against Caleb Johnson. And it's going to be against Cade Polson. That's his first.
Oh, that one against Kate Polson?
I thought it was Caleb Johnson, but apparently there they kind of got him on the arm as he went to the basket.
Oh, must have been something I didn't see. But hey, my eyes are not what they used to be.
Free throw, first one rims in and out for Blaze Neal. We do want to take a moment to thank Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for their sponsorship here of high school athletics here on Spanish Fork 17. It's a quick substitution coming in the ball game. Dawson Butler back in, Matthew Ballard to the bench. 3:15 to go. Neal's second free throw is good. You're starting to kind of see how they might be able to score that 100 a ball game. They just press and press and press, and they focus on getting to the free throw line.
Well, I noticed in doing research for this game, they actually played 10 players against Taylorsville.
Here's Butler on the perimeter, trying to get around Draney. Butler over Cromanhook. Cromanhook in the corner. Caleb Johnson on the drive, drops inside Butler. Free throw line jumper couldn't go. Ball tipped around. It's going to go out of bounds to Lehi.
Looked like Dawson was looking for someone to foul him from behind, kind of leaned in and just shot a little bit too hard.
Sean Yeager, the head coach for Lehi, about 3 steps onto the court there as the team went back the other way. Lobs it inside for Spencer. Ball's going to be knocked away, and here comes Maple Mountain. Jaron Hall
Outstanding, Caleb Johnson.
tries to drop it to Butler, put it behind him. Nygren there for the steal. Nygren one move right past Butler into the front court. Nygren now a little out of control, leaves it for a floating layup is good for number 12, Isaac Madsen.
Wow, that was great vision.
Cade Polson with it in the front court. Drops it back to the other side. Here's Cromanhook now in the corner. Cromanhook tries to get up. Draney knocked it away. Butler able to recover, lays it in.
I thought he was going to throw it down.
Maple Mountain kind of hanging around, and that's the biggest thing you want to do is make sure at this point that it doesn't get out of reach in the first. Nealed with it in the front court over to Draney. Draney at the top of the key. Here's a deep three for Nygren. He's fouled and gets that one to go off the front rim.
That's 2 on Jaron Hall.
It's got to be hard for Coach Averett to think about pulling out Jaron Hall because
he's got 7 points.
Yeah, he's got majority of your points right now, but probably the smart thing, you don't want to take a chance of him picking up a third.
Yeah, and he's the only one attacking the basket. I'm sure with Hall out, Kate Polson will attack it.
Nygren misses the first free throw. Mark Mortensen, number 2, getting to the table. Mortensen, a pretty good threat from behind the arc for Maple Mountain. That could kind of help the Golden Eagles get back going. Nygren hits the second of 3. And now Mark Mortensen in, and Jaron Hall to go to the bench. Now also coming in for Lehi, Braden Cuff, a 6'2 junior. Nygren set for his final free throw of 3, and that one rolls in. Takes it back to a 10-point lead here for the Pioneers. Under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Caleb Johnson gets it over. Here's Mark Mortensen. Mortensen on the drive, gonna now kick to the opposite corner. Kromenhoek. Caleb Johnson attacks. He's gonna settle for the jumper. That one's short. Kromenhoek with the board, kicks it out. Mortensen for 3. Good.
Oh, boy.
And that's a Lance Wilson State Farm assist. A great rebound and great vision to get the pass. Visit Lance Wilson State Farm. A huge 3 there for Maple Mountain. Gets that one inside. Nygren gets Polson. Polson with the block. Here comes Dawson Butler. Butler will slow it up in the front court. Polson, he'll take a deep 3. That one rims out. Good board by Nygren coming in. And Nygren now pushes it into the front court. Over to Blaze Neal. Neal down the lane. Finds a wide open. Tuck it underneath the basket is good. That's Isaac Madsen, number 12. Lehi doing a very good job with that press. Mark Mortensen over to Cade Polson. 45 seconds to play in the first quarter. Mortensen on the drive, kicks it out. Caleb Johnson.
I think they're going to hold for the last shot. A little bit of stall ball. It's back.
Johnson on the drive. Now he's going to lose it. That's just a steal. Kneeled with it in the front court, looking for Nygren. He's not home, though. Kneeled all the way to the basket, couldn't get it to go. Little out of control there on that layup. Johnson pushes it into the front court. Ooh, he's got to watch the carry there as Polson spins down the lane, and now a travel against Polson. I don't get it there. I don't see the travel. I did see the carry in the front court on by Caleb Johnson. It's just kind of interesting to see sometimes the differences, and maybe I don't understand the rules of basketball. I don't know.
It's a judgment call. I mean, all the way from the NBA down to Pee Wee Sports.
10 seconds in the quarter. Nygren with the ball in the corner. Kind of a double pick set. Nygren for 3. That one off. Rebound goes to Caleb Johnson. 2 seconds on the clock. Neal kind of runs him over. Nygren picks it up and throws up a shot, but it was after the buzzer had expired. And as we reach the end of the first quarter here at Maple Mountain, it's the Golden Eagles 15, the Lehi Pioneers 24. You're watching high school basketball here on Spanish Fork 17.
Hi, welcome to 2 Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to 2 Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson for your insurance and financial needs.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork. You know Triple T Heating and Cooling, but did you know that Triple T does plumbing? From tankless hot water, soft water, and reverse osmosis drinking water systems, right down to that leaky faucet. Triple T sure does plumbing. Call Triple T at 801-798-7711 today. Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork. MVP Sports is...
Start of the second quarter here on Spanish Fork 17. Caleb Johnson controls the basketball at the top. That one gets knocked away and stolen. Here comes Madsen. Johnson reaches in from behind.
Call a foul.
And there's going to be a foul there against Caleb Johnson. I believe that's going to be his first. That's the fifth team foul. And it will be the 5th. I tried to get used to once again being in basketball and seeing how the scoreboard operates. It's a lot to take in through just one quarter. Neal sets to inbound, gets in the corner, a pump fake, 3 thrown up. That one hit the bottom part of the rim there on Braden Cuff.
Kromenhoek going to work down low. Boxing out the big man, getting the rebound.
Parker Christensen in the front court for Maple Mountain. Gets it over. Here's Mark Mortensen. Kromenhoek cuts to the basket, lays it up and missed it.
Strong.
Gets his own rebound, kind of tips it out to Christensen for 3. And that one rolls in and off. Butler pulls the rebound, throws it up. That one too high and long. Rebound finally goes to Blaze Neild, and here he gets it up to Marcus Draney. Draney into the front court for Lehi. Skip pass in the middle. The ball's knocked away. Here comes Cade Polson. Polson up ahead. Christensen almost lost it. Lays it up with his left. That one didn't go. Rebound controlled here, and Brayton Cup, and they're going to get Mark Mortensen with a reach in. Mortensen didn't really like it, but there was a lot of reaching going on there. And that's really kind of a moment where you want to play up-tempo basketball, Jerry, but you also have to understand we're playing out of control. Let's just pull back and slow it down.
Well, that Draney, man, he covered a lot of ground for Christensen's layup. Got there just in time to make him adjust his shot.
Neild down the lane, kicks it out. Here's Cuff with it, and now Neild will go run it back down. Neild trying to go around Mortensen. That's going to be a blocking foul, and that's also going to be the 17th foul. So now Lehi is going to do something they really excel at, Jerry, and this is what you don't want to do is put Lehi on the line.
No, you don't.
It's going to be a 1-and-1 here for Blaze Neild. 17th foul, and now Mortensen with 2. Have to wonder if you're Coach Averett, you're kind of thin at the guard spot in a sense with Hall already with 2. And now you have to think about Mortensen having 2.
Well, Blaze Neild outside the three-pointer, well beyond the three-pointer, to try and do press coverage on him when he's being so fast. You need to drop back. I know you want to try and steal it, but he is way too fast for that.
Neild hits the front end of the 1-and-1 with 6:48 to go in the first quarter. So we have a great opportunity to be indoors here at Maple Mountain High School for this 5A versus 4A matchup. Neild's second free throw. That one was long. Rebound, though. Parker Christensen comes flying in, but he loses the ball. It's going to be knocked off Lehi as Blaze Neild trying to point, saying it went off Maple Mountain, but he clearly came in and knocked that one out. So
that
will be
went
Maple
through Christensen's legs. And once again, full court press by the Pioneers.
Butler gets it in there as here comes Cade Polson. Polson with it into the front court. Now he kind of dribbles by. Going to that 2-1-2 press. Here's Christensen way up at the top of the key. Not even the top of the key, he's almost at the half court, kind of the circle there at the center. Here's Mortensen playing with 2 fouls. He tried to drop it to Cromanhook. That wasn't there. Back up, Parker Christensen. He'll slow it up. Maple Mountain trying to set up some offense. Here's Mortensen for 3. That one was short. Polson flies in for the offensive rebound. Rupp back in for Lehi with 2 fouls. Mortensen goes around him. Christensen for 3. That one was long. Good board by Polson. Goes straight up against Draney and gets it to go.
Hey, Polson crashing the boards. They're playing that zone. I couldn't believe how wide open it was for the rebound.
Lehi, not an overly big team, so if Cromanhook and company can start getting some boards, that can get
I
back
thought
in.
Cromanhook had all ball.
Tyson Rupp with the 2 fouls went up, and Cromanhook able to get enough of them here. He'll go to the free throw line. Let's take a moment here and thank our sponsors here on Spanish Fork 17. We got Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, 2 Jacks Pizza, Lance Wilson State Farm, the Car Guys, MVP Sports, and Spanish Fork 17, all helping make this broadcast possible tonight. We thank them for their sponsorship of high school athletics. As Rupp will head for the free throw line for his second of 2. Ballard out, and now Gathercole in for Maple Mountain.
Tyler Nygren back in the game. He made that one. Tyler Nygren back in the game for the Pioneers.
1 of 2 at the line for Lehi. Here's Cade Polson trying to go around Nygren. Gets into the corner. Dawson Butler kicks it back out. Now they'll reset. Christensen in the corner. Cromanhook for 3. That one was long. It hit the top of the backboard. And no, they're going to say it looks like a foul on the ground. And I think that's Rupp. He's not exactly thrilled about it and picks up his 3rd personal. And now Braxton Bingham, a 6'4 senior forward, is going to get to the table to check in, I would imagine, for Rupp. Colton Bingham, a junior, coming in for Maple Mountain as Coach Averett.
Somebody give that kid a sandwich. Colton Bingham.
Yeah, and that one knocked away. There's Draney causing problems. I'm going to say it's off Polson.
That went off Polson's leg.
Boy, I'd like to see a Car Guys instant replay on that. That was tenacious
A lot
defense.
of hand checking.
Draney with those fast, active hands. 27-17 Lehi. That one's going to be knocked away.
They tried to do a backdoor play.
Butler into the front court, takes it, tries to drop it inside. Right there was Nygren, ahead to Draney. Draney leaves it for Neild, going up against Polson. Neild plays it in for 2, and Lehi extends their lead to 12. 5:05 to go here before halftime.
Well, I thought Maple Mountain was good at transition. These Pioneers run and run and run.
There's going to be a foul here against Lehi, and I'm trying to see here. They're going to get
Braden Carlton, number 32.
Carlton, the 6-foot senior guard. The 6th team foul. The next foul against Lehi, and Maple Mountain shooting free throws the rest of the quarter. Here's Christensen, kicks it out. Bingham for 3, and he hits.
Atta boy. Where did this kid come from?
Bingham's able to get that lead back within 9. Maple Mountain did really well, as that's a Lance Wilson State Farm assist. Down the lane, Gathercole.
Oh, yeah.
And
Jesse Gathercole stands in front of the train.
And right there, that's
going to go on Draney, isn't it?
And that's the second on Marcus Draney, so.
I think you're right. Get these kids in foul trouble. And slow them down a bit.
And really test the depth of Lehi. And I think the other thing is you can't
Look
play.
at the hand check.
You can't really play into their game either. And that one's knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay here with Maple Mountain. And sometimes I think by Maple Mountain playing transition, you're playing right into their game. I'd really like to see if Maple Mountain slows it up a little bit, Jerry. Maybe if that makes Lehi maybe get a little uncomfortable.
Well, they've been able to break the press quite easily. They just
Draney going against Polson. He gets up in the air. Polson couldn't get it to go. Ball tipped around. Polson's going to get it, but he dribbled it right on the inline. That will be a turnover, and the ball will head to Lehi.
Man, there is just a lot of hand checking in there by Marcus Draney.
To Jack's Pizza, we thank you for your sponsorship here of high school athletics on Spanish Fork 17. Kneeled with the basketball up. Oh, here's Draney. Draney goes right around. Gathercole again was just standing there waiting to take the charge, and Draney able to put the brakes on, but almost threw it away. Gets up to the top. Here's Nygard wide open for 3. Polson's going to commit the foul, and Cade Polson not happy. Immediately explained to the official, and I think Cade Polson has somewhat of an idea there, because it does look like Nygren's kind of falling forward, and so there's not much you can do as a defender, because if you fall forward, how do you play defense against that?
You know, and I've seen Cade Polson do that before, and he's never got that call.
So now Nygren's going to go to the line. He'll have another 3 at the free throw line coming right here. I think Coach Averett kind of explained the same thing to him.
Oh, he's kind of heated down there.
Yeah,
give it to him, Johnny. Give it to him.
Nygren hits the first of 3 free throws at the line, extends the lead back to 10 with 4:08 to go before halftime.
I guarantee you he's talking to the refs about all the hand checking that's going down by Lehi on our end of the court.
It looks like Tyler Boyack getting ready to check in. It is Boyack. Boyack, a 6-foot junior. So we kind of introduce you to the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles this week. Tonight here at home, and then on Friday night at Timpanogos.
Tyler Boyack's an out-of-state transfer.
And the second one is good there third one is good for Nygren. Back to an 11-point lead. Here's that press once again. Christensen gets it over. Boyack in the middle. That ball thrown away. Here's Draney. Loose ball. It looks like.
Get on the floor. Get on the floor.
And that was going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow. They quickly step in. Whistle still blowing. And Lehi's Marcus Draney comes away with the basketball. And they're going to say jump ball. Possession arrow favoring Lehi, it looks like. As we're going to get Jensen Hawkins in the ball game for the Lehi Pioneers. We thank the Car Guys for the Car Guys instant replay here on Spanish Fork 17. As we get a quick timeout here on the floor, now no longer. As Lehi gets ready, here's Blaze Neild in the front court. Under 4 minutes to go. Neild gets the basketball over. Nygren attacks the basket. Gathercole again stands in there. This time didn't get the call, and a layup good for the Pioneers. Christensen gets it over. Here's Boyack back over to Christensen. Christensen into that front court. Maple Mountain really missing Jaron Hall on the bench with a couple of fouls. Back up to the top. Gets it inside. Butler takes it right to the rack.
Oh.
Couldn't get this one to go. Ball knocked out of bounds by Butler. And it's going to stay. It's going to head to Lehi. As Lehigh head coach Sean Yeager, you see him at the bottom of your picture. He's pretty excited about the hustle from his guys so far.
Bueller needs to elevate and throw that down.
Here's Nygren right around Butler, takes it to the basket, floats it up, gets the roll, and it's to a 15-point lead, the largest lead tonight for the Pioneers as they lead 35-20. Don't pick up your dribble in the backcourt like that, but luckily the ball finds into the hands of Kromenhoek.
Oh,
Gathercole to the basket, throws it up and gets the roll. Another Lance Wilson State Farm assist of the game as Kromenhoek able to come up with the ball and finds Gathercole, and that's going to be the first foul against Jackson True, a 5'10 junior for Lehi, and Gathercole going to head to the free throw line. Gathercole, wearing number 24, has definitely provided some hustle plays here in the second quarter for Maple Mountain as the Golden Eagles trying to keep this one close before the half. Gathercole misses the free throw. That one's going to go off of Lehi, and
nice
that
job.
should
That was Jesse
here.
Gathercole getting in there and getting a hand.
That was going to stay here with Maple Mountain.
Gathercole definitely getting some hustle points.
Gathercole gets it over. Here's Boyack at the top. Guarded by Neal. Boyack going to set it up. Dribbling right around Neal. Here's Kromenhoek in the high post. Kromenhoek guarded by Nygren. Ballard guarded by Neal. Here's Gathercole. Gathercole gets a screen from Kromenhoek. He loses the ball on the ground. It's going to be a give. I think that's going to have to be a jump ball right now. And now some pushing and shoving going on. And I don't care who you are. If you're Marcus Draney, you have to stay out of that, not go up and kind of make contact with Maple Mountain. And now some discussions with the coaches for Lehi here.
I don't know. I think someone needs to be fouled.
Emotions are definitely running high here.
Because that last play they got on the ground,
and now they're going to bring it
Marcus
looks like
Draney,
separate the two teams and probably bring the captains together and talk about it.
Oh, Marcus Draney got a little dirty on that last time they were rolling around with I believe it was Caleb Johnson.
Well, and the thing is, too, if you look at, and Jerry, you're a coach, so correct me if I'm wrong, it's no different than in a football game. The player who throws that first shove, you don't want to retaliate or anything because that's likely the flag. But you're also not going to tell your guys, go initiate contact as well. Marcus Draney kind of reaching in there with the shove. And
I tell you, it's hard when one team, wants to play aggressive, you have to match it, especially if the refs aren't going to be calling it. You have to match, I put this one squarely on the refs' shoulders. If they want the game to be played that way, it's going to be played that way. They've got to get in a little sooner, like I said with that earlier exchange with Johnson and Draney before. They should have done this.
We'll take a moment here in this extended timeout. The officials talking about it here to mention our sponsors here on Spanish Fork 17 to help make these broadcasts possible. We want to thank Lance Wilson, State Farm, the Car Guys, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, MVP Sports. The MVP of the game will be mentioned at the conclusion of this broadcast. 2 Jack's Pizza, and of course our good friends here at Spanish Fork 17, where we're built for speed. And I mean, Jerry, when you take a look at this one,
let's see if the refs see what they decide here. I'd be surprised if there was no foul or ejection from this.
Right now, they're bringing both coaches together to kind of explain what's going on. Wish we had a microphone or something where we could hear what was going on.
I'll tell you, once Blaze Neal came in, who was no part of that, it's just like in the NBA, bench clearing, you leave the bench, you're gone.
And you can kind of tell Johnny Averett just kind of sitting there having a conversation. The Lehi coach is the one doing kind of all the verbal in this. I don't know if he's not liking what he's hearing or what we're seeing the official kind of go with like a number one, like maybe this is a first warning, but.
Well, warnings don't do anything. Of course, I'm a football coach. I didn't have a problem with it, especially both teams want to get on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like if it's one or two people, that's one thing. You start getting both teams, and the benches start getting excited. And we did see on that replay, one of the officials said to Coach Averett and staff, "Hey, get back on your bench." And
I'll tell you, Jesse Gathercole, who was in that mix, he's one of my football players. He went after that ball very aggressively. He went over the top. He went over the top of Draney, which might have been a little much.
And now it looks like they called a technical foul here against Maple Mountain. And it looks like they got number 24.
It was Gathercole.
They got Gathercole. Which
Jesse did come over the top. But, hey, if that's that, I'm a football coach. And he's one of my football players, so.
Nygren.
I was proud of him.
And now it's going to be Lehi basketball. So they get the 2 free throws, and now they're going to move the ball back to the other end of the court here. So double technical was called because now Parker Christensen.
They called one on Neal.
Yeah,
well.
kneeled, and now so Christensen will go to the line, and then I believe alternating possession, which should give Maple Mountain the basketball. If I'm correct on that, we'll find out.
I believe you are. Christensen
hits the first free throw. And that's fair. If you're going to call something like that, I agree. Both sides need to take something there because multiple people were in it.
Yeah. Gather Cole went a little over the top. He went through a guy trying to get the rebound, a little aggressively. And then Neal, who had no part of it, came in and started pushing people off the pile.
And so still a discussion going on between Sean Yeager and one of the officials of the game here. And now another discussion between the 2 officials going on here. 36-23, and that's really, I mean, as a coach, it's one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to do anything that gets you a technical because that can fire up the other team really quickly.
Oh, he's nowhere close to it.
That's true. That's true.
He's having a pleasant discussion.
Tyler Boyack set to inbound for Maple Mountain. Here's Cromanhook. That ball knocked away in the backcourt, and Parker Christensen able to run it down for Maple Mountain.
So no slowdown in the intensity here by the Pioneers.
2:32 to go before halftime. Boyack with the basketball. And that ball is going to be a reach-in foul. And that's going to be a reach-in there. It looks like, I believe they're going to get 11. Ethan Tuckett.
This is first.
That's going to be the 9th team foul. So now Maple Mountain going to go to the line, shoot a 1-and-1. That's going to send Tyler Boyack to the free throw line. Boyack, a 6-foot junior, stepping in.
You know, right now, Maple Mountain has a lack of scorers on the floor.
And this is a good moment for somebody to step up here. You'd like to maybe see some senior leadership from Cromanhook here.
Yeah, Polson with 2 fouls, Jaron Hall with 2 fouls. You can't really put them back in the game.
And missing the first free throw is Tyler Boyack, so he'll have 1 more. That's the 10th team foul, against Lehi.
So he'll get 2.
So both teams shooting 2 free throws on any foul the rest of the way. That one off the front of the rim. Rebound goes to the Pioneers.
You know, if it gets any more physical, I'd love to see Garrett Blanthorne get in the game.
Here's Marcus Draney at the top. Draney with the basketball here on the drive. Going to drop it inside. Here's Nygren trying to go up, and there's going to be a foul here.
I think they might get Gather Cole on that. Got a little leg tangle.
And they will. They'll get Gather Cole. That will be his second 10th team foul. So now Nygren going to go to the free throw line here.
So does a technical foul count against?
It counts as a personal foul, and then
so that's 2 on Gather Cole.
That's his second.
Yeah, it is. I can see it on the board up there.
So Ballard out, Butler in. I think we have a timeout Lehi with 2:13 to go here before the half. Kind of an interesting timeout to take with your guy at the free throw line, but let's take a moment here. Let's mention our sponsors here on Spanish Fork 17.
We'd like to thank the car guys, Lance Wilson State Farm, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, MVP Sports, 2 Jacks Pizza, and of course our very own SFCN.
The crew here well before Jerry and I got here to get everything set and ready to go. Jerry did not know I was doing that. I'm pointing at the screen going, go, go.
I said, I see it. I said, oh, you want me to speak?
It's okay. You know how those football offenses get their hand signals. It's the first half. We're still trying to get all that worked out.
I got some great stories to tell you about that. We went all hand signal this year.
So 2:13 to go. Timeout over, and it's going to be Tanner Nygren going back to the free throw line. The 6'3" senior. He had a great game last year against Maple Mountain. Had 18 points. And that one going to roll right off the rim. Dawson Butler with the rebound for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, Butler back in for the Golden Eagles. Hopefully he can spark something.
Parker Christensen at the top of the key sets it up. He's trying to get around Draney. Good screen by Cromanhook. Back up top, Cromanhook guarded by Draney. Kicks it in the corner. Gather Cole knocked away. That one's going to go off of Gather Cole. They're going to say that didn't touch Lehi at all. And Tyler Boyack trying to plead the case, but at the end of the day, it'll be Lehi basketball with under 2 minutes to go before the half.
You know, when Maple Mountain swings the ball to the baseline, they leave the far baseline wide open. Any kind of back cut, easy layup.
Nygren gets Gather Cole in the air, takes it right to the basket, and lays it in.
Do not leave your feet.
At halftime, we'll have the Maple Mountain Elevays for you here on Spanish Fork 17. That ball knocked away. That one clearly touched Lehi. Marcus Draney getting his hands up and knocks that one out with a minute and a half to go. It's Caleb Johnson in for Gathercole.
Well, Maple Mountains held them under 50.
Roman Hook inbounds to Caleb Johnson. Johnson will reset the offense. Lehi scoring something like 116 in their first game. Johnson goes right around Nygren, floats it up but couldn't get it to go. Missed it long.
Looks like he was going to pass it out, and then the last minute decided to lay it up.
Tuck it over to Draney. Draney lobs that one inside. Good defense by Christensen. Christensen plays it
down,
up
Dawson.
Butler saves it from going out of bounds. Loose ball, though, is going to be ran down by Parker Christensen. Here's Butler in the corner going right around Draney. Kicks it back out. 3 on the way is going to be short. The ball's knocked out of bounds off of the hands of Jensen Hawkins, and it will stay here with Maple Mountain with 56 seconds to go.
I thought we were going to see a flush by Dawson Butler.
I'm just waiting for Butler to have one of those games where he just goes off and just has his kind of coming out party in basketball. And Draney there is going to get called for the blocking foul.
Finally.
That's going to be the third, I believe, against Draney.
Finally, that is 3 against Draney.
Draney kind of talking with the official, just trying to see kind of what was going on here. So 10th team foul. So Caleb Johnson's going to go to the free throw line. He's going to get a pair here for Maple Mountain. First one for Johnson on its way is good. Nothing but the bottom of the net there with 49.4 to go before the halftime. And this is one of those situations where you really want to see Maple Mountain end the half on a high note and get into a situation where this one's close at halftime, or somewhat close where you're in striking distance.
Yeah, and they're doing awesome with their 2 leading scorers out.
Johnson
Foul trouble.
hits the second free throw, and Ethan Tuckett will bring the basketball up here for Lehi. Here comes kind of a trap. That one lobs it in. Cromanhook knocked it away. And we'll see here. They're going to get Cromanhook. It looks like. No, they're going to get Lehi.
Lehi.
The foul is.
That's number 13.
That's Jensen Hawkins. That's his first. And the 10th team foul. So Cromanhook going to go to the free throw line there. Cromanhook just in great position to go up. And you're not going to win, I feel, a lot of jump balls like that against Sam Cromanhook.
Oh, no. You know, he looks a lot stronger than last year. He's a tenacious player.
First free throw on its way is good. Cromanhook, of course, will lead the Maple Mountain boys soccer team in the spring to help them have another successful season. Soccer team doing pretty well last year in Region 8.
Wow, if we can go into halftime, single-point deficit or single-digit deficit, that'd be huge.
Cromanhook's free throw is good. So back to 11-point lead right now. 40 seconds to go. Cromanhook with the pressure. Lobs that one over. And Lehi going to try to set it up. We'll see if they slow it down or not. Their scoring style wouldn't tell you they're going to slow it down. Cromanhook knocks it away again. 27 seconds to play. Up ahead, Caleb Johnson lays it in.
Nice job.
The energy coming back. That's another Lance Wilson State Farm for Sam Cromanhook. Assist of the game. His second already of the game.
We're in single digits.
13 seconds to play. Lehi going to try to slow it up. Skip pass into the corner. Nygren guarded by Johnson. Knocked away. Back up to the top. 7 seconds to play in the half. Moving the basketball around. That one knocked away. 3 seconds left. Up ahead. Boyack lays it up at the buzzer.
Yeah.
Got it!
Nice
Count
job.
the basket on Lance Wilson. State Farm assist of the game. Another defensive steal leads to a basket. And the basket is good, and Maple Mountain within 7. Lehi tried to state that Cromanhook touched the net, which would be goaltending, but the basket was counted. As we get ready to take you to halftime, 38-31 here. We're getting ready. We're going to keep it here because we have the Maple Mountain, the Elevays coming up here. They had another.
I'm telling you, this cardiac kid's all over again. Killing me.
Would we have it any other way?
You're killing me.
So I think first one, it looks like we might have the cheerleaders first actually here on Maple Mountain 17. Or Maple Mountain, Spanish Fork 17. I'll get my words right one of these days.
The Lehi are the reigning region drill team champs and took second place overall in the state 4A drill team competition. They will perform dance routine entitled Stand Down, choreographed by Stacy Mills. Elevated officers are Emily Kessinger, Tori Little, McKenna Van, Matt Ellis, McKenna Ellis, Jalissa Green, Justin Birdo, and Jesse Allen. Elevators are coached by Ella Benchley, Courtney Fitz, and Marcy Knight.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork. You know Triple T Heating and Cooling, but did you know that Triple T does plumbing? From tankless hot water, soft water, and reverse osmosis drinking water systems, right down to that leaky faucet. Triple T sure does plumbing. Call Triple T at 801-798-7711 today. Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Welcome back to halftime here on Spanish Fork 17 as we get ready to go here. We're about 2.5 minutes away from the start of the third quarter. Ryan Pickens alongside Jerry Huffman. And Jerry, when you really take a look at this first half, if you were to say, we have a 7-point game with Cade Polston on the bench with 2 fouls, Jaron Hall on the bench with 2 fouls, I might have looked at you like you were crazy.
because I wouldn't have said it. Those are our 2 leading scorers, but defense has been phenomenal. Lehi in their transition, pretty much unstoppable against Taylorsville, but to limit them to 38 points in the first half, I'm excited.
It's definitely going to be interesting. We saw that defense at the end of the half really make their presence known, and without Hall and without Polson in there, especially, that's a great sign if you're Coach Averett and the Maple Mountain coaching staff. You have guys down the stretch. Okay, maybe we won't score a ton with our second team guys out there. We're going to keep the other team off the scoreboard.
Well, I think it's given our team a lot of confidence too that they can hang with these running Pioneers down the stretch, and hopefully we can do to them what they did to Maple Mountain last year.
It's definitely going to be quite the second half. The question, of course, is going to be, are we going to see the level of physicality we saw in the first half? I don't really see that changing very much as we get in the second half.
And when you get Jaron Hall and Cade Polson in the mix, because they were absent, because they're just tenacious as anyone I've seen.
So we'll find out here as we get ready to start the second half. At halftime, it's Lehi 38, Maple Mountain 31. You're watching high school basketball here on Spanish Fork 17.
Hi, welcome to 2 Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to 2 Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson for your insurance and financial needs.
Right
MVP
now,
Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish football.
A very exciting group here of students here at Maple Mountain High School. I love how you get the
Lehigh
jersey in the middle.
It looks like a cop, kind of a ugly sweater day / bonnet.
Well, the interesting thing, this is the only Maple Mountain home game in the entire month of December, because they're going to be on the road at Timpanogos. Actually, I don't think that's right now that I think of it. It's the only Maple Mountain home game we're doing here on Spanish Fork 17 or 16. That I do know. But Maple Mountain's going to have the opportunity here in a couple weeks. They're going to head to Florida for a 3-day tournament down there.
Hey, can we get our bosses to send us down there to cover the game?
I could take a couple, nice 3-day trip down to Florida. We'll have to see if we get that one in the works or not. As we get ready to start the third quarter, thanks for tuning in, Ryan Pickens, Jerry Huffman, as we get set, ready to go for what should be a very exciting second half. Cade Polson, Jaron Hall walking immediately out there. Cade Polson has that competitive look. He always brings it 100%.
He does. He is so much fun to watch.
So 8 minutes on the clock, 38-31. Lehi leading Maple Mountain. Timeouts go. Well, they don't go start over. Fouls start over here as we thank our sponsors, the Car Guys, Lance Wilson, State Farm, Triple T, 2 Jacks Pizza, MVP Sports, and Spanish Fork 17. So here's Jaron Hall going right around Marcus Draney.
Exactly where he left off, but with the left hand just a little off.
And that's really where you want to attack. Draney with those 3, and he can pick up the 4th. That would be huge to get him on the bench with the 4th.
Well, it's been wide open for Jaron Hall almost all game.
Here's the drive, taking it right to the basket, and it looks like we're going to get a foul here against Maple Mountain.
Is that going to be against Butler? It sure is.
Ethan Tuckett there on the drive. First team foul of the second half against Maple Mountain, and Nygren set to inbound, gets it into Rupp. Rupp playing with 3 personal fouls. Sets it back up top. Starting the second half is Braden Cup,
Great
number
defense.
23. That one knocked away by
behind.
Christensen. And up ahead, here's Cade Polson into the front court, running 1-on-2. Polson all the way, lays it up and in.
Scoop and score, Cade Polson.
Polson had a pretty quiet first half for Maple Mountain, of course, being on the bench for a good portion of it.
I got Cade Polson with 5 points. I could be wrong. I get caught up in the game, kind of miss writing these down. But I have 7 for him now, 5 in the first half.
Draney with it at the top, number 4, over to Cuff. Here's Nygren on the baseline, guarded by Polson. Goes right around him, takes it to the basket, goes up against Cromanhook, and a foul.
I think they're looking at Cromanhook. I hope that's not on Polson.
And I think they did get Polson.
No, that's Cromanhook, 13.
Did they? I thought I saw. Okay, I'm cool with that. I mean, only the first on Cromanhook. That would have been the 3rd on Polson. Nygren back to the free throw line. He hits the first.
They do shoot free throws very well. I have 14 for Nygren.
39-33 here as Nygren will get his 2nd of 2. Lehi wearing the all-black uniforms, Maple Mountain in the all-white. As here's Christensen in the backcourt. Draney picks him up. Double teamed. Here's Jaron Hall. Hall looking to try to clear it, and they do. Probably just in the nick of time, too. Kromenhoek gets that one knocked away. Up ahead, here's Cuff. Cuff running 1-on-2 with Rupp. Drops it back, and that's going to be a blocking foul against Christensen. And the Lehi bench once again erupts. Definitely some spirit along that Lehigh bench sitting right in front of us here.
They got Christensen with the block, but I think Kromenhoek bumped him from behind. So
I think Kromenhoek's trying to explain to the ref, hey, wasn't that? It's not very often you see a guy say, hey, I think that was on me, but Christensen's only his
I think
first.
that's his first.
And now it's going to be Rupp going to the free throw line. The first one rolls around and good. That might not be what Sam Kromenhoek was talking to the official about, but
I saw him give the block signal, like he was set.
good block out by Kromenhoek there. He's able to get the rebound because of it. He'll bring it up into the front court, drops it back to Christensen. Christensen double teamed. Here's Cade Polson. Polson's got to clear it, and they will, once again, that 10-second call probably wasn't too far off. Here's Christensen now as Maple Mountain will kind of slow it up. A 1-3-1 zone. Kromenhoek for three. That one is off. Rebound goes to Rupp. Rupp quickly pulls it away. Kromenhoek there, and that was going to be an offensive foul.
Offensive.
Kromenhoek just got there right in the nick of time.
Nice job, Sam Kromenhoek. Oh, no. I hope he's not hurt. He's favoring that right elbow just a little bit.
And that's got to be a Lance Wilson State Farm assist of the game. That's Kromenhoek's third. Not that I'm counting, but just happen to know that's how many times I've said it. So I guess in a sense I am counting. Hall gets it in. Kromenhoek ready to tee up a three, and that one rattled in and out. Nygren quickly down the court, one hops the pass. In the middle, that ball's knocked out of bounds.
That's tipped away by Kromenhoek. He's everywhere.
And the interesting thing, Jerry, I don't see Blaze Neal, number 3, out there for Lehigh, and I'm looking down the bench. I don't even see him on the bench. I could be wrong, though. I can't see the other far end of that Lehigh bench.
I see him. He's on the very end, I believe.
Rupp able with the turnaround layup, kisses it off the glass, and we're back to a 10-point lead. Butler tries to get it in. Here's Christensen. Polson with it into the front court. Skip past Kromenhoek. Kromenhoek gets it back to Polson.
Lazy pass.
It's again that hand check. Polson goes down the lane, throws up a
drives,
shot, and he's going to pick up
the
the foul.
on the baseline, but it's gonna be a foul on 15, I believe.
Second foul against Lehigh, and they got 23.
Oh, okay. If that was on Rupp, that was his fourth.
Stay tuned at the conclusion of the game for the MVP Sports MVP of the game. Right now, still looking for that player from Maple Mountain to win that. Here's Christensen. He hits a three. Parker Christensen.
I haven't seen a three for a while. Getting worried. Right now, Sam Kromenhoek wants that MVP Sports player of the game for his defense.
We're going to get a push here, it looks like, against Maple Mountain. The fourth team foul. That's going to go against Parker Christensen. Second foul on Christensen. Fourth team foul. Draney set to inbound for Lehigh. Gets it right inside. Polson having none of it. A turnaround fadeaway for Nygren. That one wasn't even close. Rebound tipped around. Draney tips it in. 3 Pioneers getting there on the rebound.
Draney slashing inside.
Cuff again with his hands all over Parker Christensen. Here's Polson on the drive, splits the defense. We're going to get a foul here as the official has to stop.
Looks like somebody leaned in.
Blocking foul.
Oh, they're giving him 2 shots too.
Wow.
They called it on number 11, Ethan Tuckett, his second. Oh, they got third.
Third team foul against the Pioneers as well. Polson to the free throw line. First of 2 for Polson, and that one rattled in and out. Polson was money at the free throw line quite a bit last year for Maple Mountain.
He was. Won a few games at the line.
Cade Polson just signing his letter of intent to Utah Valley University to play baseball for Coach Eric Madsen and the Wolverines. Cade's played quite a few games there at Brent Brown Ballpark. He'll play a few more.
Hopefully they can take it all this year.
Here's Draney. Draney kicks it over. Cuff guarded quickly here by Christensen. Gets it in the middle.
Nice.
And that one's knocked away. Here comes Jaron Hall into the front court. Hall all the way. Drops it. Kicks it out to Kromenhoek at the last second. Back out to Butler. Polson for 3. This would be huge. Got it. That's a huge Lance Wilson State Farm assist of the game. Kromenhoek to Cade Polson.
Never met a 3 he didn't like, and I like to watch it.
Here's Draney on the drive, puts up a shot. That one went long. Good board there by Tuckett. Maybe a little over the back, but nonetheless, great board. And that's going to be a travel violation against Lehi. And with 4:20 to go, you can tell, looking over at that bench, you can tell some of these turnovers really starting to get it to go. Kind of really, maybe that offense starting to slow up for Lehi a little bit.
Some of their heads are starting to hang on Lehi's, on the court and the bench. Score right here and watch them hang some more.
We do want to thank Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for their sponsorship of high school athletics here on Spanish Fork 17. Double team here. Hall thought about it, now tries to step through. Now he'll pull it back out. Tries to go around. Wow.
Well, I thought that might have been a double dribble. He caught it and put it on the ground, picked it up, but.
Double team coming at the top. Here's Parker Christensen.
Get it inside Hall. He's calling for it. If he's calling for it, get it into him.
Polson on the drive, goes up, lost the ball on the way up. Cuff pulls it down, he'll get it to Nygren, and Nygren will slow it up here a little bit. Kicks it back out in the corner, Cuff for three. That one rattled in and out, almost went down. Cromanhook with the board.
Man, Bueller has a reach. He almost got that from Cromanhook.
Nygren reaches in, Hall with kind of the one-arm shovel pass. That one goes out of bounds. But luckily, we'll stay here with Maple Mountain with 3:25 to go. We do want to thank 2 Jacks Pizza for their sponsorship of high school sports here on Spanish Fork 17.
I want to thank them for making me hungry.
They came by, they dropped off pizza before the game. It's okay, Jerry, it's okay. You know.
All right, I'm going to have to go grab me some of that. Nobody tells me these things.
3 minutes and 25 seconds to go. We do want to we'll thank our sponsors one more time. The Car Guys Instant Replay, Lance Wilson State Farm, Triple T Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, MVP Sports. That will be named in the conclusion of our broadcast tonight. Of course, our good friends at 2 Jacks Pizza and Spanish Fork 17. We're built for speed. Great to be with you again, partner, for what should be another exciting season.
I've missed this.
I have
missed this.
After tonight, we'll be together again on Friday.
Yep.
And then we won't see each other probably till like January 12th.
I'll text you.
And we'll be, okay, sounds good. Now the pizza has been delivered to Jerry. So that's very kind here as our team, and he gets the Hawaiian.
The Hawaiian. As a Hawaiian myself, I am offended.
So 3:25 to go here before the end of the third quarter, almost at halftime. Parker Christensen set to inbound, and he'll inbound all the way back to Sam Cromanhook in the backcourt.
Oh, that is good, 2 Jacks Pizza.
Parker Christensen at the top of the key, tries to go around the screen, but good job there. Isaac Madsen able to move his feet pretty quick. Here's Cade Polson. Polson drops in, and Hall against Draney. That's an interesting matchup. Draney gets all ball. Hall goes up, almost got it to go, but that's going to be the fourth against
Draney. That's a fourth foul, Draney. Nice hustle by Jaron Hall, forcing the issue. That's exactly what we need.
Got his own rebound, almost got the shot to go, but just couldn't quite get the roll. And now Jaron Hall to go to the free throw line. I still remember those clutch free throws against Spanish Fork that he hit.
Oh, yeah.
1 point game, had to hit that other one to keep the game going. And a packed house. What an environment that was. As that one goes short here and for Hall here on the first one. As now Brady Christensen, a senior power forward, comes in for Lehi.
So that's a big change of speed. Number 4 in for 24.
So Draney to the bench, and that's huge because now you think of it, he's probably got to sit for
the
rest of the quarter.
His hands were everywhere.
Hall couldn't get the second one to go as it hit pretty much all sides of the rim and just wouldn't go down. Nygren into the front court for the Pioneers. 3 minutes to go. Great job by Maple Mountain reaching in. Watch that reach getting too much. Nygren for 3. That one long. Cromanhook with another huge board. Here's Parker Christensen. Maple Mountain a chance to cut it to 2 with a 3, or they could cut it to 3 with a 2. Polson gets the shot blocked, gets his own rebound, throws it off of Tyson Rupp, and it will stay here with Maple Mountain with 2:44 to go in the third.
So Maple Mountain trying to give the Pioneers a dose of their own medicine, running it up the court.
And so definitely here's something with 45-40. Maple Mountain set to inbound, 2:44 to go. Cromanhook with the basketball, gets it in. Here's Dawson Butler.
Back him down, Butler. Oh, nice pass.
Gives it inside Christensen. Here's Polson for 3. That one was long. Rebound goes to Nygren. Nygren into the front court. Polson trying to catch him. Nygren goes up, banks it home. That one off the board, tipped around. Rebound, there's going to be a foul here against Maple Mountain.
Look at the hustle by Cade Polson. Missed his shot. Didn't hang his head, hustled back and altered that shot.
And that's going to go against Parker Christensen, his third, 5th team foul. Jerry, I just got a text from our our boss. He told us dream on the idea of going to Florida. So I was looking down at my phone. I'm like, oh, I got a text. I'm like, it says dream on. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, oh, wait.
It didn't cost me anything to ask.
Hey, the only thing they can say is no, right?
Exactly.
So Brady Christensen missed the first free throw. He'll get the second one here. And he misses that one. Good rebound, though, inside. And I think they're going to get Butler with the foul. That's going to be, it looks like on
that's 2 on Butler.
Second, the 6th team foul will be on the ground, so it won't be a shooting foul. So Lehi and Tanner Nygren will inbound the basketball underneath his own basket.
Matthew Ballard
and he throws it out of bounds. Dallin Spencer went to cut.
That's got to be a technical,
too. A technical foul coming against Lehi.
You can't slam the ball down.
Dallin Spencer went to cut to the basket. The ball came right where he was, and then he threw the ball down, and that was a technical foul, and that could swing things as Cade Polson will head to the free throw line. I believe he gets 2 shots in the ball, too. As the Maple Mountain student section saying, you can't do that. That's the 5th team foul, the first against Spencer. Now Cade Polson heads to the line for Maple Mountain. Polson's first free throw is good. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
So this defense is definitely frustrating the Pioneers.
Maple Mountain here could potentially tie it if they get a 3 on the next possession. Polson's second free throw on its way. Good. So now Maple Mountain will have the basketball. They'll inbound it from over by in front of the student section, just on the Lehi side of the court.
Ballard will inbound.
Ballard gets it back to Jaron Hall. And if there's a guy to bring this house down, it'd be a 3 right now by Jaron Hall. Nygren will pick him up pretty quick. They're setting it up. Hall, double team, goes right around Spencer. He's going to get called for the block. And that's going to be the 6th team foul against Lehi. So one more, Maple Mountain's in the bonus.
They called that on Spencer again. He's not having any fun.
And we'll see here what should be, I think, the second against Spencer, not the first. I think he should have gotten his first on the technical, but they put. I'll trust everyone at the scores table and say it's only 1.
That's smart.
They know what they're doing, probably more than I do. Crowman hook up top, tries to drop inside. Ballard gets his shot blocked, gets his own board, goes straight up, and he's fouled. And that will be on Spencer.
That's 3 quick fouls on Spencer.
That's the 17th foul, so now Maple Mountain's going to head to the free throw line.
I think he's shooting 2 on this. He was shooting, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was shooting, so it's going to be Ballard to the free throw line, the 6'3" junior. A great opportunity here for Ballard with 1:57. Maple Mountain has regained the momentum, and the first one is long as he hit the back iron.
Too much adrenaline.
Can you feel it getting excited again, Jerry?
I can.
So now Ballard will get ready for his second. We do thank the Car Guys for the Car Guys instant replays tonight here on Spanish Fork 17 and our friends watching over on Spanish Fork 16. Here's a 3 in the corner. That one's long. Polson pulls the board, and there's a foul immediately against Lehi. Ethan Tuckett reached in, and now Polson's headed to the free throw line.
Okay, Polson jerked that ball away, thinking it might be a jump ball.
Things once again, and it's interesting. Lehi's
4
bench.
on Tuckett, if that's Tuckett.
And that is going to be Tuckett. 8th team foul, so now Polson back to the free throw line. The interesting now, Lehi bench standing up and applauding the foul there. You got to love the aggressive play, but you also don't want to get too deep in foul trouble. Marcus Straney looks like he's walking something off over here, over by us.
Well, Cade Polson shows some good restraint, not continuing to rip that ball away.
As the first one's good, Marcus Straney having one of those games offensively, doing a lot of good things for Lehi. Lehi plays in a tough region with American Fork and Lone Peak and some of those other teams, including Harriman. I mean, that's a tough region to play in, not an easy one. Polson a chance to cut the lead within 1. Free throw on its way is good. It's a 1-point ball game here in the third. Once again, Maple Mountain showing they can win that third quarter. They did it many times last year.
Money, 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 Cade Polson.
Everybody getting excited here at Maple Mountain. Here's Cuff with the basketball, and we're going to have a foul here, and this is going to go against Crowman.
They're going to get him on a block?
Hold. So a hold against Kromenhoek. That's a 17 foul. So Lehi in the bonus. And now that's going to bring Dallin Spencer to the free throw line. Kromenhoek just asking for the explanation. As Jensen Hawkins, number 13, checks back in for the Pioneers. The key thing for Maple Mountain, you haven't had a foul on Polson or Hall, so they both are sitting with 2 right now. They'll be ready to go for that fourth quarter. Spencer hits the first free throw. In fact, I don't see Hall. They're both out there. Never mind. I was going to say, I would think maybe you rest in the final minute of the third quarter, but with the way this momentum's been, probably not going to happen if you're Maple Mountain. Spencer misses the second one. Rebounds tipped to Polson. Maple Mountain with a 3 could take the lead. Polson double teamed here in the corner, gets it over to Caleb Johnson. Johnson with it. Hall calling for it on the opposite side. Maple Mountain will set something up here with 1:23 to go in the third.
Lehi looks like they're in a boxing one.
Kromenhoek in the middle, right where you want to get it to get them to collapse. Caleb Johnson over to Kromenhoek. He turns, free throw line jumper. Good! Sam Kromenhoek, a clutch jump shot.
Ties the game. That is a Lance Wilson State Farm assist.
And we're tied at 46. 1 minute to go here in the third quarter. Cuff with the basketball up at the top of the key. Drops it inside. Reaching in, Cuff for 3 to take the lead, and he hit it. A huge 3.
That's his first points of the game.
Polson with the basketball. He's going to go right at him, and we're going to get a whistle and a
foul
foul against Lehi with the block.
That'd be Cuff. Shooting 1-1.
And the thing to watch if you're Lehi, on the next foul, that's your 10th, so Maple Mountain's in double bonus, and you've got 40 seconds to play here in the third.
You know, Lehi has to understand that after that first half, the ref's going to be calling it a little tighter.
Mark Mortensen enters the game. Going to the bench, Caleb Johnson for Maple Mountain. It's going to be a 1-1 situation here for Cade Polson. Polson's first on its way is good. Rattled at home, but all that counts in basketball is that it goes down.
Exactly.
Colton Bingham back in, Kromenhoek to the bench. So maybe this is where you're starting to see those starters get a quick 40-second rest or so to be ready for that fourth quarter. A little bit longer than with the timeout in between the quarters, but
Kromenhoek is exhausted.
And here comes the second free throw is good, and it's a 1-point ball game. 49-48. Hold on to your seats. This is going to be an exciting finish here at Maple Mountain. 1 more quarter to go. Nygren with the basketball, trying to get around Polson. Polson right there, traveling. There's a turnover.
Nice job with the defense, Cade Polson.
You know, I know Polson wants to play college baseball, but you got to tell me he wouldn't have a future in basketball to some degree.
Hey, maybe Utah Valley will let him play both sports.
Here's Jaron Hall. Hall trying to kind of bait that defense. He goes right past him. Hall into the front court, kicks it to Mark Mortensen. Mortensen inside to Bingham. There's going to be a foul, and that's going to be the 10.
13.
So now Maple Mountain shooting 2 free throws on any foul for the rest of the game.
It's on Jensen Hawkins.
Hawkins second. And now Colton Bingham, number 4, goes to the line. A 6'4" junior. Maple Mountain has some good size this year.
Yeah, Bingham had a 3-pointer in the first quarter.
And there he hits that one. We're tied at 49.
That gives him his 4th point.
Matches that jersey number. And that one off. Rebound goes to Spencer. He's wearing Jake Dixon's old number 4.
He better play mean then.
10 seconds to go. Lehi a chance to take the lead. Nygren with the basketball, guarded by Polson. Back up to the top. Polson guarded by Nygren. He puts up a 3 at the buzzer, and that one is off. And we're tied at the end of 3.
Tie going to the fourth quarter. Oh my goodness.
Here we go, Jerry. Once again, it's going to be a fun one. We head to the fourth quarter. We're tied at 49 here on Spanish Fork 17. You're watching high school basketball here on a Tuesday night.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson for your insurance and financial needs.
MVP Sports is
Start of the fourth quarter here on Spanish Fork 17, Spanish Fork 16. And if you're watching via YouTube, on youtube.com/Spanish Fork 17. Thanks for tuning in. Ryan Pickens alongside Jerry Huffman here at Maple Mountain High School. We're tied at 49 between the Lehi Pioneers and the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsors for helping making this exciting broadcast possible.
We got the Car Guys for our Car Guys Instant Replay. State Farm Lance Wilson Assist. Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Two Jacks Pizza. MVP Sports. And our very own SFCN.
We're waiting for that MVP-like performance here in the fourth quarter. Nygren floats on a shot, count the basket and the foul. And right there, a quick two for Tanner Nygren gets the basket to go. 51-49, the foul there. We'll see who they're going to get.
That's two on Ballard.
And it will be Ballard. Nygren had 18 in the game last year. He's up right around 17, it looks like. My partner, Jerry Huffman, has on his score sheet, and that one was short. Rebound goes to Lehi. They're going to go straight up. Colson with the block.
You cannot call that block. You cannot call that.
And that one looked like, to me, I'd really like to see a Car Guys instant replay on that one because it looked like it was all ball. But nonetheless, they're going to get Cade Polson. It looks like more for a push than anything else.
Now maybe some body down low, but Cade Polson blocked that clean.
Tyson Rupp will head to the free throw line. This will be shooting two since it was on the shot. Lehi 51, Maple Mountain 49. This one did not disappoint, and Rupp misses the first one long.
Ball doesn't lie, right?
That's the rule. That's typically the rule in basketball. If you're playing with me, that's kind of the rule all the time.
I know.
That one misses long.
I can't hit a free throw to save my life.
Goes in long, and it's 52-49. I played over Thanksgiving at home with my family. It wasn't pretty.
You play football instead of basketball instead of football?
I played both, actually. Both of them weren't that pretty. I did score a touchdown, though. Nonetheless, Nygren with the basketball goes up against Hall. Couldn't bank it home. Gets his own board. Foul. And he's going to go to the free throw line.
That's going to be on Mortensen. Got a little bit of the arm.
And it will be Mortensen right there.
Yeah, I played some old man football on Thanksgiving, and my legs still hurt.
I dropped an interception. Okay, everyone at home, feel free to laugh. It hit me right in the hands and I dropped it. And first thing, I saw the end zone. It would have been 6 for sure. I made up for it. I caught a touchdown later on. First one misses there for Nygren. You can tell he really wanted that one. And Parker Christensen back in. Mortensen to the bench. 52-49 here in favor of Lehi. And now coming back in, Ethan Tuckett's going to come back in. Going to the bench is going to be Isaac Madsen. Lehi in the all-black, Maple Mountain in the all-white. Free throw is off again. Good board by Ballard. He gets it over to Parker Christensen. Once again, that press going to come. Here's Cade Polson. Back over to Christensen. Christensen back, Cade Polson. Skip pass over. Here's Bingham all the way to the basket. He couldn't make the layup. Loose ball, though. It's going to go out of bounds off Lehi and head to Maple Mountain.
I thought for sure Bingham had that. Put up just a little soft.
Bingham.
I'm going to buy that kid a sandwich. He needs a sandwich.
Tyson Rupp set to guard the inbounder Bingham. Here's Cade Polson for three.
Oh,
got it! That is ice in your veins. Polson makes the big shot, and we're tied back up at 52. Woo. The crowd back into it now after regaining the tie. Madsen on the drive, kicks it out. Here's Cuff. Cuff goes around the screen, kicks it out. Here's a three on the way. That one is off. Rebound by Christensen. Tuckett missed that one pretty short, as Jerry just mentioned, and now Maple Mountain a chance to take their, what I believe is their first lead of the ball game. Polson right around Nygren. He's fouled. Count the basket.
Three the hard way.
And Cade Polson has just taken this one over here in the second half. And the foul's going to go on number 2, Tanner Nygren. His first personal, and there's that just ice in the veins look from Cade Polson.
He's deadly. Left hand, right hand, it doesn't matter.
And now Polson will get ready here. And now here comes the free throw.
Here comes Coleman Hook back in.
I'm waiting to see when Marcus Draney is going to re-enter the ball game. I would think he's probably not going to wait much longer, and I think he'd have to be back in the ball game if you're Lehi. Polson hits the free throw. Maple Mountain with their first lead at 3 tonight. 6:41 to go here in the fourth quarter.
So I got Cade Polson with 23 points. I may have missed some.
Here's a 3 to tie. Cuff got it. Buries a big one there. It is Cuff.
That's his second 3 of the game.
Polson right back the other way. This one's going to go blocking foul against Cuff. So Cuff hits the big end at the end of the one end and then gets hit with the foul on the other end. That's his third.
Cuff, his third.
And Polson back to the line for 2.
So I've got 4 fouls on Draney, 3 on Rupp, 3 on Cuff, and 4 on Tuckett. For Maple Mountain, 2 for Hall, 2 for Butler, 3 for Polson, 3 for Christensen, and 3 for Cromanhook.
Polson couldn't get that first one to go. He'll have a second one here as Cuff goes to kind of tuck in his jersey. And it's going to be Caleb Johnson in. Colton Bingham to the bench. Bingham's given them some good minutes inside tonight. Has had a pretty good ball game. And now Polson will get ready here to tie this, chance to break this tie here. Cuff trying to get that jersey tucked in. Everyone's just kind of sitting around here. Now the officials just kind of smiling at him. And now
is that the new way to ice the shooter?
And now the free throw is good as well.
Hard to ice someone with ice already in their veins.
56-55. Cuff with the basketball right there. Gets it back up to the top. Lehi moving the basketball at the top. Tries to drop it inside. Cromanhook knocks it away over in the corner. Nygren baseline trying to work. Drops it inside. Losing it on the ground was Rupp, but he splits the defense and lays it in.
He was able to pick it up while both Maple Mountain defenders were trying to pick it up off the ground.
Caleb Johnson, number 12, with the basketball, trying to split the defense. Gets it up. Cromanhook goes to the sky and then throws it away. Cromanhook leaped, came down with it on a pass.
He was expecting Christensen to cut to the basket. Tough.
We want to thank Triple T Heating, Cooling, Plumbing for their sponsorship of high school sports here on Spanish Fork 17, along with Lance Wilson State Farm for the Lance Wilson assist of the game. As you've heard them throughout, or I should say assists of the game, because there's been multiple ones tonight. Here's a backdoor cut for Nygren. He runs out of room, inside double team, throws up a shot, and gets it to go in.
He earned that one.
Cromanhook slow to get up.
Well, he jumped right into
and we're getting officials timeout there. Cromanhook.
He might have got hit in the nethers, but he's tough.
Cromanhook looks like the wind was kind of knocked out of him there, and so a quick officials timeout. Maple Mountain will get the basketball, but they're going to have to inbound it now. With 5:26 to go, I forgot to write down the timeout situation, but I don't think Maple Mountain's used the timeout. Sorry, I take that back. They used that one early on. They should have at least 3 left. Lehi's only used 1, so they should have at least 3, but I think both teams with all 4 timeouts. Christensen gets it over Jaron Hall. He's had a quiet second half. Attacks the basket, leaves it for Cromanhook. Back outside. Johnson thought about it. He'll attack the basket, lays it up, and it would go down. Good board for the Pioneers. Here comes Lehi. Into the front court, back cut, and Caleb Johnson's going to get him with the block from behind.
That's 3 on Caleb Johnson.
And now
they got him for 2.
And now we're going to get double bonus coming up here for Isaac Madsen. He'll shoot a double bonus. Chance to extend that high lead to 5. Coming up here, we do want to thank 2 Jacks Pizza for helping make this broadcast possible. And that one rattles in and out. And of course, for bringing the pizza here to the facility tonight. We really appreciate that, getting busy setting up and preparing for the broadcast. It's nice to have a little dinner as we go, so we thank 2 Jacks Pizza. 59-56. Here's the second free throw. Good. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Madsen. 4-point lead here for the Pioneers. Every time Lehi's looked to pull away here in the second half, Maple Mountain's responded. Caleb Johnson with the basketball. They're looking to trap him.
Kick ball.
That's going to be a kick ball there. That one's just thrown right off the cuff. And one of the fans in the first row picks up the ball and says, okay, who do I give it to now?
Reset that 25-second clock. Oh, wait. There is none in high school basketball.
Here in the state of Utah, anyway. There are some states. I would kind of wonder if maybe at some point that's not going to make an appearance here at Utah high school basketball.
I really hate stall ball. I really do. Oh, wide open.
60-56. Polson kind of throws up a shot expecting contact, but there wasn't any. He missed it. Here's
Good
Nygren
job by
back
Nygren.
against Johnson, goes all the way, gets Kromenhoek, banks it home, but he couldn't get it to go down.
That's 4 on Kromenhoek now. I don't think you can take him out of the game, though. And here comes Marcus Draney in for the Pioneers.
Draney with 4 fouls. He's going to have to play a lot less aggressive here, else he's going to foul out of the ball game. Nygren hits the first. You have to wonder, they have Caleb Johnson up on Nygren right now. And I'm sure there's a better rationale behind it, but you have to wonder, does Caleb Johnson have the speed to stay with Nygren? Nygren's been getting around him most of the fourth quarter, and he hits the second one as well.
Well, it's hard because he can shoot from anywhere. That last one, he shot from falling down and went in.
Johnson with the basketball, sets up the Maple Mountain offense. You love having him in at point guard, though. Johnson, one of the true point guards on this Maple Mountain team. 4:16 to go, plenty of time. Hall all alone in the high post, gets it back. Here's Johnson on the drive back to Cade Polson. He'll take a 3.
Oh.
Got it! That is huge right in the eye of Marcus Draney.
Oh,
Draney will be guarded here by Jaron Hall.
he's going to be dreaming about that tonight. 23, he shot it over me.
Lehi, Nygren, here's Draney against Hall. Draney to answer, got it.
I guess he won't be dreaming that much.
And I don't know what 2 of the Lehi players are doing, whether they're like roping in the 3 or what, but they're going nuts every time. Hall down the lane, couldn't get it to go. Left it short, Draney pulls the rebound.
And in a rare moment for Lehi, slows it down.
Nygren with the basketball, trying to beat the press to get it across. Here's Draney, picked up by Hall. In the corner for 3, got it. Isaac Madsen buries the 3. And very quickly, we're back to a 9-point ball game. Caleb Johnson with the basketball, 3:15 to go. Drops it inside, Hall goes straight up. He's fouled, he'll go to the line.
Now that is 4 on Rupp now. You got to get it to your hot hand.
And so now Hall will go to the line. And he'll shoot 2 here.
It's a nice chance to put points on the board with the clock stopped.
I do want to thank Spanish Fork Community Network for helping make this broadcast possible here, where we're built for speed, as the first one is good for Jaron Hall. Back to an 8-point game.
That's 8 points for Jaron Hall.
Hall, they try to cut it to 7. Place got deadly quiet there. Nygren pulls the rebound for Lehi. And they're going to get Parker Christensen. I don't really, they're going to get Kromenhoek, actually.
That might be Kromenhoek. That's
No, they got
Kromenhoek.
Christensen.
Okay, if that's Christensen, that's his 4th.
I don't agree with that, because the Lehi player was the one initiating the contact there. If you reach out like that, I don't know.
I don't know. I was watching Draney
I'm
just
sure
breaking free down here.
I'm sure I missed something there. I must have. Nygren goes to the free throw line. 8-point lead for Lehi, and he missed the first.
Wow, that's a rare miss for Tyler Nygren.
And now Mark Mortensen comes in for Maple Mountain. Caleb Johnson goes to the bench. Nygren misses the second. Rebound's going to go to Lehi, and they're going to pull it out. Nygren on the attack again. Gets in the lane, banks it, couldn't get it to go. Mortensen pulls the rebound for Maple Mountain. 8-point game. Mortensen into the front court. Here's Kromenhoek. Over to Parker Christensen. Cade Polson wants it, but Christensen will pull it out.
Hall wants it in the post.
And why not? Draney's got 4. If he fouls him, then that would be his 5th. Goes right around him. Nygren almost with the contact. Here's Polson. Goes down the lane. And Polson couldn't get it to go. Draney pulls the board.
Missed Jaron Hall standing wide open under the basket.
Polson reached in, tried to get the steal. That's going to be a kickball against Christensen. (68-60). Lehi pulling away here again in the fourth quarter. Here's Draney at the top of the key. Gets that one in the high post. Back cut, Nygren lays it in. Not much more defensively you could do on that. Nygren just gets the shot to go, and the lead goes to 10 for Lehi.
One of the most common high post plays in
Timeout,
basketball.
Maple Mountain.
Back cut from the wing.
We want to take a moment, thank our sponsors here on Spanish Fork 17, the Car Guys for the Car Guys Instant Replay, Lance Wilson State Farm for the assists of the game that you've enjoyed throughout tonight's broadcast, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, MVP Sports. The MVP of the game will be named in the conclusion of tonight's game. Two Jacks Pizza and Spanish Fork Community Network, built for speed. 2:13 to go. We've seen it at times. Maple Mountain's made some dramatic comebacks. You have to think, though, with how good of a free throw shooting team Lehi is tonight, that might be a tall task to order up.
Well, under 2 minutes, they're going to have to start fouling. Not many more to give for this Maple Mountain team. And hopefully they'll miss theirs, but maybe we can see some tenacious defense like we did at the end of the first half.
Maple Mountain heads to Timpanogos up in Orem Friday night for a 7 p.m. tip-off against the Timberwolves in a nice, Region 8, Region 7 matchup.
Win or lose, though, to hold this explosive Pioneer team, to a score of 70 with 2 minutes to go, things are big for this Maple Mountain team. It'd be great if we could pull out a win here, though.
Should be good here just to see. And I mean, a good game to get early on in non-league play.
It is.
And that's the one thing here in Utah that I think might get overlooked. In a sense, a lot of your non-region games are to prepare you for region. Because to qualify for the state playoffs, you look at region, not necessarily the non-region games.
Exactly. You try and schedule some very, very competitive teams in non-region just to kind of show where you are and what you need to improve on.
Polson gets the ball knocked away. Kromenhoek, though, is going to win it, but tosses it right to Marcus Draney. Nowhere else. I guess Kromenhoek could have called time, but Draney chased around the backcourt. We're going to get a timeout. Lehi, full timeout here with a minute 57 to go.
Kromenhoek, defensive player of the game. Wants that MVP sports player of the game. But, man, it's hard to deny Cade Polson at 24 points, too.
And you look at some of the shots that Cade Polson has hit. The guy, plays one. You just kind of saw him. You see him there in your picture. Well, you don't anymore, but you did.
He's giving. You can tell by his face.
You can tell, everything. Yeah. He is giving everything on the line. Of course, last year Maple Mountain making it to the state quarterfinals, losing a tough game to Olympus up at the D Event Center in Ogden. This year, the state tournament being played up at the Huntsman Center at the University of Utah in Salt Lake City.
Just like last year, it's hard to get transition points against Maple Mountain. Lehi's been able to get more than usual tonight, but last year, Maple Mountain was such, a defensive juggernaut. But they lost Jake Dixon, who was one of the big hustle
Abe
kids,
Durant was another
Abe
one.
Durant, yep. They still have Kromenhoek holding down the inside. With the addition of Butler and now Christensen up top, it's going to be a good team.
Here's Marcus Draney, number 4. He knocks it in. Christensen was right there. Polson into the front court. He's going to take it all the way. Now look to set it back up. Here's Hall for 3. Got it. That's a huge 3. Cuts it back to a 7-point game. Here comes that press. And Draney slips.
He just went. Oh, are you kidding me?
And now, right there, we got a whistle. Draney was kind of walking something off down over here, but now it looks like they're going to call Jaron Hall with a foul. And
you're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
And so right there now, Draney will go to the free throw line. 3rd against Hall.
Yeah, that has to be a no call.
Draney will go to the free throw line.
From my vision from opposite court.
Draney's got 5 on the night. Makes the first. He's now got 7. 6 now, sorry. 6. It's a tough angle, Jerry. It's a tough angle.
That's fine.
71-63 Lehi. Minute 40 to go, 4th quarter. Draney's second one is good. Heads the back of the net. So we're back to a 9-point game. Maple Mountain's going to need some help with either defensive stops or they're going to need some turnovers. Polson to the basket. Draney blocks that one. Now the whistle goes.
That's got to be 5 on Draney. He was hand checking the whole way inside.
It will be Draney. That will be his 5th. Braden Cuff will come back in for the Pioneers. And so now, Marcus Draney played hard.
He did.
Tonight for Lehi.
He was definitely a spark for Lehi.
And now Cade Polson to shoot 2 at the line. This is huge for Maple Mountain because you're scoring with the clock stopped.
Exactly.
Polson's first good. Rattles it home. Cuts it now to an 8-point game.
I got 28 for Polson. And I know I missed some. He's got to be up there at 30.
That'd be almost half the Maple Mountain points tonight. And that one rattled in and out. Didn't go down. Nygren into the front court, right up ahead.
Oh,
and Christensen comes in and he knocks it away. They're going to say he got some arm.
He might have got a little arm, but that was great hustle play by Parker Christensen. Oh,
that's the fifth against Christensen.
Great hustle play by Parker Christensen.
Christensen
no
played
easy buckets.
A lot on JV last year. He kind of dressed for varsity. We maybe saw him a couple of times, but I like the hustle that he brings to the table. Going to the line here for Lehi is number 12. That's Isaac Madsen. Madsen just broke free on that play. And if there's a time when you want to see a couple of misses if you're Maple Mountain, now's just about it. Mark Mortensen will check in. Madsen ready to go at the line. And he missed it long. And hit the back iron.
I'll take it.
Cade Polson, Tanner Nygren having a quick conversation. Now I'm sure that conversation will end. Free throw on its way. Gets that one to rattle down. Here's Jaron Hall. You'd love to see one of his quick pull-up threes right about now.
Yeah,
1:21 to
can't
go.
let this much time go off.
Hall going to attack. Takes it all the way to the basket. Lays it up. Missed it long. Rebound's going to be pulled by Lehi. Hall knocks it away, but it goes off Jaron Hall. That one goes out of bounds with a minute 12 to go.
He's getting in there. It's just Lehi's just been so tenacious, it's hard to finish.
Nygren with the full court pass down. Here's Rupp inside left hand. No. Rebound goes to Cromanhook. Good block out.
Outstanding job by Cromanhook.
1 minute to go. Hall in the front court. Here's Mortensen for three.
Good.
Got it. Big three there. 6-point game under a minute to go. Nygren to inbound. They get it in. Right back to Nygren. Nygren double team.
You got to foul. You got to foul.
Looking to clear the press.
You got to foul.
That's not the guy you want to foul. But Sam that's
I think they had to wait for Gathercole to foul because everyone else on the court has about 4 fouls.
So now Tanner Nygren goes to the free throw line. Nygren believes probably the leading scorer tonight for Lehi. He's had a great ball game, looking for his 22nd point, and he gets it to go there.
I think he's 8 for 10, or now 9 for 11 from the free throw line.
Boyack in, Gathercole out. Second free throw on its way. It's good for Nygren. 75-67. Jaron Hall with it into the front court. Now picks up his dribble in the backcourt. Here's Mortensen back to Hall. 37 seconds. Got to get something quick. Three for Boyack is long. Rebound goes to Lehi, and you got to have to foul. Polson pulls his hand back. Boyack in the game, probably the guy with the least amount of fouls. Nygren leaves it inside. Rupp lays it off, and that will probably put the exclamation point on it.
That was a nice look-away pass by Nygren.
Hall into the front court, fires up a three. That one missed well off, and with 15 seconds, the ball goes to Lehi.
I'm still impressed by these Maple Mountain Golden Eagles.
As we take a look here, as we get closer, Nygren looking to inbound the basketball. They're going to cause some more problems in Region 8 this year. And now they're going to foul here in the front court. It's going to foul Ethan Tuckett. And right now with 8.5 seconds to go, some banter back and forth between the two student sections.
Maple Mountain saying, let's play football.
So now here, 77-67. The first free throw is good there for Ethan Tuckett.
So that scoreboard does not reflect the tenacity of this game or how close it actually was.
They're chanting, let's play Friday. Jerry, you think your boys can be ready?
Hey, I'll get them ready.
6 seconds here. Cade Polson fires up a three. That one is well short. That's a good job by Gathercole trying to get it. And now I think they just called a technical against. No, it looks like.
Well,
I thought
I thought Polson got hit on the wrist on that shot.
I thought I saw the official make the tee, but maybe.
But at 3 seconds on the clock, they're really not going to call that. They just want to go home.
Here's Polson again. He won't get that shot up. And the Lehi Pioneers have come into Maple Mountain tonight, and they get the 79-67 win. We're going to take a break here on Spanish Fork 17. When we come back, we'll wrap. We're not going to take a break. Okay, we're going to keep it right here as we get ready to go. Here, we'll, I guess, keep it right here. And, Jerry, when you take a look at this one, definitely an interesting kind of way for the season to start for Maple Mountain. They took a couple early season non-league losses, including one to Lehi last year, and didn't have a great effect. This is the sort of game, though, if you're Coach Averett, you can look back on your kids and you can say, hey, we played well, we just didn't play well enough to win the bowl game.
This would be a great one to break down on film, just to show them the hustle play, how they get back to hold these guys to under 80 points. I mean, this is an explosive team, but also what they can do better on the offensive side when they're playing that zone defense, and how that whole backside was open for a back cut. It'd just be great to watch this on film.
It's going to be interesting because you got some teams like, some teams in Region 8 that we don't know a ton about. We don't know a ton about Uinta.
Salem's resetting, who was a powerhouse last year.
Yeah, and so really when you take a look at it, Maple Mountain probably enters once again as the favorite in Region 8.
I think so.
But
I think so.
This is an opportunity, though, for them now to kind of build. They're going to see some great teams in Florida, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure, a lot of great teams there. They're going to see probably another good team in Timpanogos Friday night on the road. It's going to be another fun one for Maple Mountain.
I think so.
Definitely. Man. Sorry, go ahead.
So, hey, we got to take care of that MVP Sports Player of the Game.
We do.
I love defense. I love defense with Sam Cromanhook, but at the end of the day, you got to give it to the money man, Cade Polson. Oh, my goodness.
And you look at the game that Cade had. It wasn't just, he got on the bench there. We forget that he missed about 6 minutes of the second quarter. Yeah. If he plays through those two fouls, you have to kind of wonder how many points does he end up with tonight at the end of the day. I mean, you counted probably close to 30 at least that he had. Maple Mountain only scored 67 tonight. He had almost half their points tonight.
Yeah, just need a little bit more contribution from kind of the role players. Jaron Hall, I think, finishes up with 11 or 12, right around his average. But what I liked about Jaron Hall was the first quarter explosiveness, keeping them in the game. But then he got in foul trouble and had to sit the whole second quarter. But definitely Cade Polson, MVP Sports Player of the Game.
So definitely a great performance by Cade Polson. I'm sure that's not the only time this year he's going to get that MVP Sports MVP of the game. Of course, he would love to take home region MVP and maybe even the state MVP, but we'll find out more as the season goes on. That's just one game, Jerry. We have a ton more coming up here this year on Spanish Fork 17.
I am excited.
It was great to be back indoors. Great to be with everybody here on a Tuesday night. We'll thank our sponsors one more time. We'll thank the Car Guys for the Car Guys Instant Replay, Lance Wilson State Farm for the assists of the game, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, MVP Sports for the MVP of the game, which tonight it goes to Cade Polson, to Jack's Pizza, and of course our friends here at Spanish Fork 17, where we're built for speed. So we have now a couple of days off. We have a chance to regroup ourselves. We have one broadcast in the books.
Defibrillator. We'll bring it next time.
That's definitely.
That's the word.
Definitely. So hopefully Friday night will be another fun one. We're going to be out at Timpanogos High School in Orem for a Region 8 versus Region 7 matchup, and which should give Maple Mountain a chance to get that first win against a 4A team on the year. Maple Mountain defeating Carbon last week in kind of a non-region, I guess, endowment game sort of a situation.
Yes.
So it should be a very fun season here on Spanish Fork 17. For our entire team here at Maple Mountain High School, for my partner Jerry Huffman, I'm Ryan Pickens signing off for this time. We'll see you Friday night at Timpanogos.
So we're at the South Utah Valley Animal Shelter, and we're UVU students in the DGM department, and this is a photography class under Reese Christensen, and we're learning about photography in our field, and we're trying to get the skill set for that, and that's what we do at school. But today we're trying to